Hey you guys, what's up? It's your girl Tamaria Lakay. Basically I just wanted to come on today and do a story time video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and make yourself feel comfortable by hitting the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so that you'll get notified each time that I release my weekly videos. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into this story time. As you see by the title, this story time. If I say story time one more time, I'm about to slap the shit out of myself. Anyways, today I'm gonna be talking about the time that I lost my virginity. A long time ago. But anyways, I was 13 when I lost my virginity, and I was also 13 when I got pregnant. So yeah, I was kind of like in that age or around people of that age that were starting to have sex. And it was like I was seeing sexy stuff on TV. I was hearing things about sex. Like for some reason, I would always remember hearing conversations with my mom and her friend about sex, and they just made it seem like it was so interesting and like it was the best thing in the whole world. And so of course, you know, I got all these things turned into my head like, okay, so there's sex on TV, my mom is having sex, my friends are having sex, I need to be having sex, which technically wasn't the case, but that's just what I put together in my mind and in my head with everything going on around me. So I ended up having sex with a 17-year-old, and I don't know how many times it took before I ended up getting pregnant, but with the same person. I had a mishap where we was having sex, right? And then the condom, we was wearing a condom because, you know, I was like thinking like, okay, you're wearing a condom, that's birth control. But truth be told, it ain't necessarily birth control if he comes inside of the condom while he's inside of you and then the condom gets stuck in your vagina. That's no longer birth control. That's a big mistake. That's a big no-no. And that can happen to anybody, and it just so happened to happen to me at the age of 13. Eventually, like, I started showing signs of pregnancy. And my mom was like asking me, she was like, did you come on your period? She was like, come here. And she was looking at me, and she was staring at me all hard and stuff. And I'm like, what are you looking for? What are you looking at? And she was like, turn your head. And I did. And she was like, I see 2 heartbeats in your neck. And I was like, what? 2 heartbeats in my neck? Like, how does that even happen? Like, she was like, you're pregnant. She said, I'm taking you to the doctor tomorrow, and I'm going to find out if you've been having sex. So I was scared because not only was my mom about to find out that I was having sex, she was also about to find out that I was pregnant, which I had no clue. Like, I was just tired and drained, and I didn't think anything of it. But come to find out, I was pregnant with my oldest son, which I absolutely adore. And this video is kind of like dedicated to him because recently over the holidays, over Christmas, I found out that he was no longer a virgin, and I almost freaked out. But I had to keep cool and keep calm because he just turned 17. So it's like almost expected, even though I don't approve of it. Like, I know kids are having sex, like, I get that. And I get that I had sex. And my whole thing with him was, I always told him, like, I don't want you to get anybody pregnant at 13, like, you know, what happened to me. Like, I don't want the same thing to happen to you. And so when he surpassed 13, 14, 15, I'm like, we in there. We in that thing. And so now he's 17. And I never told him, like, son, I don't want you to be like your dad and get somebody pregnant at the age of 17. So basically, that's what I'm doing. Now, like, I get when you're young, you have all these feelings and you have all these emotions and you feel like you gotta act on it. And so you start to. I just want to let you know that once you start doing it, it becomes a habit. So I would much rather you practice abstinence than to be sexually engaging in activities with multiple girls or even with one girl. Like, I would prefer you just say you lost your virginity already, and then from this point forward, just kind of practice abstinence. Like I told you, like, girls are always going to be there. We're always going to be around. Like, there's more of us than there are of y'all, son. There's more girls than there are guys. So we ain't going nowhere. We're going to be here. So Like I always tell you, try to focus on your school. You got 1 more year of school left after this, and you said you wanted to go to college, and you've always talked about being an architect and you're musically talented. Like, focus on yourself. Because if you don't focus on yourself, you could lose so much time in the process of wanting to be grown and having sex that you waste a lot of your time, you waste a lot of your life. And this is real shit, you know, I always keep it real with you. I didn't really know how to explain this or express this in the moment that you told me that you lost your virginity, because I was kind of shocked. But like after thinking about it, like you didn't have a kid at the age of 13, thank God. I don't want you to have one anytime soon. Like, I know my son told me, I was like, did you use protection, you know, when you had sex? He's like, every time. I was like, what do you mean every time? Why is there every time in this sentence and this dialogue that we're having? Like, every time. So that lets me know, like, multiple times. But I'm just here not only for my son, but also for any other young girl that's out there that's thinking about losing her virginity, or any other young boy out there that's thinking about losing his virginity. Like, for real. I know social media and I know the media in general is like heavily influenced with like sexual behaviors, but I'm here to tell you to take your time. Like, get to know women without having to get to know them intimately. Like, you'll have more fun getting to know them on an emotional level, on an intellectual level, more than you would if you have sex with them and then try to get to know them. Like, it's gonna be way more complicated if you do that first. It's a process. Like, what I'm trying to say is y'all are too young to be out here having sex. Like, that's for grown-ups. That is for people that is ready to commit to each other for a long lifetime period, like marriage. You know, I know the world is changing and there's like all these popular trends, and you feel like you gotta keep up, and you feel like if you don't lose your virginity at a certain time or while you're in high school, then you feel like you're not acceptable or popular. But that is just baloney. Like, it's baloney. Or keep yourself to yourself. Like, don't just be out here giving your body to any and everybody. Not everybody deserves a piece of you. I'm saying this from experience. Not everybody that I laid down with deserved to have a piece of me. And because I gave them a piece of me, like, see, I don't want to get too deep with it because it's like, you gotta ease your way in there. But I'm just telling you, young people, my son, like, it's not everything. It's really not. Like, it's not. It takes a lot of work. Like, once you have sex with somebody, like, you start to connect with them because that's what you're doing. And once you start this connection, it's kind of hard or difficult to maintain it. And when you don't maintain the connection that you started, you start to feel turbulence, you start to feel tension and things like that. And I just feel like that's just not something that young adults should be going through. Like, you really need to be sitting down trying to figure out what you want to do with your life, not having sex and potentially risking losing some important and valuable time in your life and of your life by getting someone pregnant, and then having to put your dreams and your goals and your aspirations on the back burner for years, not months, but for years, until you can get, you know, her established or him established, the kid established, and then try to work on yourself. But you have the opportunity right now. Like, nobody's out here putting guns to y'all's head telling y'all to have sex. Like, nobody's doing it. You guys are choosing to do it. And then you grow up in this world and people are like bitter and they're freaking crazy as fuck. And it's because they was having sex too early. That's what it was. They were having sex too early. They didn't have time to figure out who they were, let alone who the person was that they were having sex with. So it's like, it's confusion and chaos. I'm just trying to be like that MTV commercial where they was like, we want to have a generation where nobody's smoking. Like, I want to have a generation where everybody's getting their shit together, they following their dreams, they setting their goals, and then they're going out and building families. Like I always tell my son that, like, I want you to have yourself established before you start having kids. Don't be out here 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, then getting somebody knocked up, having a baby. Now, I'm not saying that babies are like the worst things, because I love my kids, like, even though I had my son early. But I'm just trying to tell you, like, get yourself prepared so that your child doesn't have to suffer in any of the ways that you felt that you might have suffered in your childhood. Because I know there's been times that you probably would have wanted me to be around more. I know there's been times that you probably would have wished that I had more money to do more things for you. But because I didn't prepare myself for you, I had to do the best that I could with what I had to take care of you. And I never want you to be in that kind of situation, because it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. What's the word that I'm looking for? It's unnecessary. It's an unnecessary trial. Like if you have somebody that's here and they're telling you the direction that you should go to get to the place that you're trying to get, then you should follow those instructions. You shouldn't try to go through the ditch, go through the tunnel, and think that there's a shortcut down the alley. There's not. There's no shortcuts. The same rules that apply to me apply to just about everyone else in the world. So what I'm saying is, even though you've lost your virginity, think about what you're doing. Like, seriously, I know, like, you're feeling your little girlfriend now, posting pictures on Instagram, things like that. And that's fine. You can do that and not have sex, but I just really want you to focus on your goals. I want you to complete college. You've seen how long it took for me to finish college. You doing it straight out of high school is going to be a lot easier for you because your mind is still fresh. You're used to the routine of going to school. It'll be an easy 4 years. By the time you're done, you'll have a degree to where you can get a pretty decent job. And if not, while you're in college, you could still be working on your music. And you never know what could happen between the time that you're in college and you're working on music until the time you graduate. You never know. Somebody might want to sign you. Somebody might want to work with you. Somebody might want to buy your beats. Like, you could do so much, but you're going to get distracted if you keep putting your penis in vagina. You're going to get distracted, and you're going to get even more distracted if you keep putting your penis in vagina, and then you end up getting somebody pregnant. You know my story. I shared it with you a long time ago. And so I'm sharing it kind of with the world now, and hoping that, you know, I can help somebody to, like, save themselves. Like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it because God said you shouldn't do it. I'm saying you shouldn't do it because you're not ready. If you're not, I'm just gonna say, if you're not like over 22, 23, like, in my eyes, I don't feel like you're ready to be having sex. Like, if I could go back in time, like, swear to God, I would have been focused on some goals. Not some bros, but some goals. Like, I would have been focused. But now it's like, I'm not gonna say I've wasted so much of my life, but like I said, I've been through so many trials because I've been in and out of these relationships. I've been with people that wasn't necessarily always pushing me forward, but kind of keeping me held back, stagnant, and things of that nature because of relationships, thinking I'm in love kind of thing. And I just don't want to see anybody that's young have to go through that. Like, if your parents aren't telling you, like, yeah, it's good to get out here and build with somebody, but you need to make sure that the person that you're building with is somebody that you can see yourself with for a long time. Like, I know it's not easy, and you just want to have fun and you're young, but just try to remain abstinent. Like, you went 15 something years without having sex. I'm sure you can go like 5 to 8 more to get your life together. But yeah, when I found out I was pregnant at 13, like, it was crazy. Like, shit was crazy. I was in fucking 7th grade. Like, I just graduated elementary school and was going to junior high and found out I was pregnant. I don't think my friends could, they knew I was pregnant, but they didn't really like comprehend it in the way that they were treating me because they still felt like I was normal. Like, I felt like an outcast. Like, from that moment on, throughout the rest of my school life and life in general, I just felt like an outcast. And I was just always like, society got me fucked up. Like, I'm not gonna be another statistic. I'm not having kids. And I didn't for the longest. Like, I have a 17-year-old and I have a 2-year-old. So it was like a huge gap in between me deciding to have more kids, but I just had my mindset that I wasn't gonna have any more kids because of, it was hard. Like, I'm just gonna be straight up with you. Having you at such an early age, it was hard. It was difficult. I was still in school. I had to work because my mom was like, you're gonna have to get a job because I'm not taking care of this baby strictly on my own. I'll watch him, feed him, all that, but as far as clothes, diapers, shoes, anything that he needs, you're gonna have to do that on your own. And so at the age of 14, after I had my baby, the first job I had was a fucking paper route. And then once I was 16 and old enough to work, I started working at McDonald's. And then while working at McDonald's, I was in the high school age. And then I went to vocational school, got my CNA, and then I became a nurse. I thought I was shit, couldn't tell me nothing. But just like, I am putting you on blast. I'm sorry. I hope you're not mad, but I'm not doing it only to like put you on blast. I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing it for my channel because I want people to know a little bit more about me. I'm doing it for any other teenage kid or anybody that's thinking about like losing their virginity and thinking about like having sex. Like, that's kind of like the point and the passion and the motive behind this video. But yeah, like, sex is, it's a huge responsibility. Like, it's huge. Like, don't be rushing into putting yourself in such like restraints. Like, it's almost like a restraint because you can't just like go and take something from somebody and not expect them to want something back from you. And if you don't keep it like balanced, shit's gonna get out of whack. That's just like, yeah. Getting pregnant at the age of 13 is not easy. And getting pregnant as a teenager is not easy. And like I said, I know Cardi B and, you know, all the people that's popping and all the people that's, you know, got money and all the people that's doing it big and, you know, the video vixens, like, everything is overly sexualized. But you just have to stand strong. Like, be strong, be grounded. Want something for yourself that is not advertised on social media. Want something for yourself that's not advertised on TV. Think outside of the box. Like, the box is the TV. The box is your cell phone where you see all the titties and the ass and all this other things going on. Like, think outside of that. Like, for real, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? Like, you have to start thinking like that because you might feel like, oh, I'm young, I have forever, and really you don't. But nonetheless, so try to practice abstinence. Like, I swear it ain't gonna hurt you to not get done. Like I said, you already be going like most of your life already not getting done. Try your best to make decisions that's gonna benefit your life. Sex is only gonna benefit you for about a few seconds, technically speaking. And then that's it. You didn't took the liability of 10 to 15 seconds to put your life at risk, somebody else's life at risk, and to potentially bring a life into this world that could be at risk for 10 to 15 seconds of pleasure. And more than likely, I'm not trying to be rude when I say this, but you're not really doing too much for her. She's probably not even getting the 10 to 15 seconds that you're getting. So it's almost like you're wasting each other's time. You're not doing anything for her. She's only doing a little bit for you, but the little bit that she's doing for you could cause you so much. I just want y'all to be safe. I don't know what else to say at this point. That was basically my story time in my attempt to have my child to refrain from having more sex after he told me that he had sex. And make sure you like and subscribe, share this video because it might be young people that you know that could benefit from it. If you have any questions or anything like that, go ahead and leave them down below and I'll try my best to go ahead and answer those in a manner that could help you and things of that nature. But I love you, son, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.